are grateful to our sponsors, Kelly Stafford with Stafford Tree Service and also Black Kow Cow Manure. If you need your trees trimmed locally, remember Stafford Tree Service at staffordtreesvc.com, and please visit Black Kow Cow Manure, that's K-O-W. Remember, both of the contact details are in the description below. Hi, I'm Stan DeFreitas for the Ask Mr. Greenthumb gardening segments. Flowers are usually completed. They're usually rounded. This one is kind of sometimes called a fan flower, and you can see why the name, the Scaevola has this fan-looking flower. It comes in purple, comes in blue, comes in white, and it is like a half a daisy has been cut across. And because of that, I think it's kind of a unique plant. One of my friends used to be called Scott. He called himself Scaevola Scott because he had his whole front landscape done with this particular plant, which I thought made actually one of his more attractive landscapes. Since then, he's gone into kind of a total xeriscape. Now this plant could fit into a xeriscape because it will take lower water once it's established. The Scaevola, or fan flower, if you want to call it that, maybe easier to remember, has dark green foliage. It has these purple white flowers. This one happens to be whitish, but there are some purple to blue type varieties. I think it makes a nice, vibrant, small, mounding ground cover plant. And it's relatively tough. It takes water to establish, but once you've got it established in an area, it will normally continue to flower from early spring through the time that we might get a first frost, which means you probably get about 6 or 7 or 8 months of blooming constantly every day. And I can't think of too many plants that fit that bill. It normally doesn't have very many problems. Occasionally, when it gets really hot and really dry, I've seen it kind of wilt a little bit, and I have seen a little bit of spider mite activity on it, but that's a rarity. In general, this plant is one that I would consider kind of on the tougher side. It doesn't seem to have nearly the problems that some other plants do. Occasionally, where it's too wet during the middle of summer, when we have one of our monsoon seasons, I have seen a little bit of fungus get on this plant. But you normally could trim it out or spray it with a general fungicide and keep it under control. As far as soil, I'd improve it. I'd add peat, I'd add cow, I'd really make a better soil. I'd make sure it gets 6 hours of bright sun a day for it to flower its best. I'd make sure that you fertilize it from time to time, maybe monthly with a good water soluble or granular, probably 2 or 3 times a year. If you're using time released, maybe as little as twice a year if you're putting out one of the little beaded plastic coated type fertilizers, something like Osmocote or one of the others. There's many of the time released fertilizers you could use. I'd make sure that you trim back some of the plant when it becomes a bit gangly, which it will, and you can keep it in balance. It's going to be relatively more of a mounding plant, probably get 2 to 3 feet in height and probably 2 to 3 feet in width. We mentioned in lower light, it may start to get a bit more gangly. It'll be reaching out for the light. So keep it in the bright light, you'll keep it tighter and occasionally trimming it to keep it back in position. pH, anywhere probably from slightly acidic, 5.5 to probably near alkaline to probably near 7. It has a pretty good range of areas that it could take. Scaevola, as Scott would say, makes a great ground cover, and I would think that just like he used it as a ground cover, you ought to think of using it too. It's not that common, and you won't see it everywhere. You could raise it from seed, but it's probably easier to get some small plants, plant them out, because you've already gone through the tough part. Once you get them to this stage, you'll have a much higher degree of success. If you're really good at starting plants from seeds, you could do it that way. You can get some of the seeds and some of the seed packages and try to grow it that way as well. The fan flower, or Scaevola makes a good plant, a hardy plant, and one that you might wish to have in your backyard, or front yard for that matter. We do appreciate that you've told all your neighbors and friends about us, and because of that, we've grown to huge numbers, and we do that because we thank you. You've made the difference for us. Once again, until next week, get out and smell the flowers and enjoy your color and life just as much as you can. Have a good one.